Hello and welcome to a special Centennial College presentation. Our broadcast and film students have been hard at work to produce some amazing pieces for you to see. Today we're going to show you some of their collectors. Now whether Lego or pop can tabs, most people have collected something at least once in their life. This assignment was meant to celebrate those who still collect things in this day and age. Let's take a look at our first piece by Dwayne Alexander about fitted hats.
Fitted baseball hats have been a major trend in popular culture, with celebrities wearing various hats to represent their unique identity. Young adults all over the world wear and collect these hats, some of them more serious than others. Meet Brian Williams.
I don't know when I really started collecting hats. I just figured I liked them a lot, so I started buying them, going online, searching websites, ordering hats, checking out hats, going to stores, going around the city, anywhere in Toronto looking for hats. My collection is pretty big, but it's not that big. I want it to be at least 200. We'll see what happens. I'm getting a little bit older, so I'm going to stop collecting soon, but I enjoyed my time collecting hats.
A flagship store for New Air, the premier producer of fitted hats located in Toronto, the popularity of these hats and the search for rare hats is bigger than ever.
Okay, so once again, we're here at the set of the New Era flagship store talking about hat collecting. The reason why hat collecting really became popular in the last few years is because people are watching their idols and also because of the cultural basis that it has. People see rock stars, rap stars, movie stars all wearing the hats that they like, so they decide to follow their footsteps. So basically people come from different places, traveling really far to come and add more hats to their collection, and we feel that we serve the needs of the customers. When you take a look around the store, the hat collection is continuously changing, so people are continuously trying to keep up. So basically, this is the perfect place for hat collecting.
I'll do anything to find a rare hat. I'll go the distance, doesn't matter how much it costs, where I gotta go. If I like it, I'll get it. No, you've seen enough, get out of here. Get out of here, homie, get out of here. You've seen enough, no.
Now, there's some things I can understand people collecting. Trading cards. They get updated every year. Comic books. Every month. But hats? Come on. You put them on your head. Why would you collect something that you wear? But whatever. To each their own. Our next two pieces were made by Alex Brose and Shannon Casanova. Alex checks out an old record collection, while Shannon talks to someone who collects owls. Yeah, owls. You'll have to stay tuned to figure that one out.
This is my friend Terry. He's really excited about collecting records.
Hello, my name is Terry Loader. I'm a record collector. I've been collecting records probably since I was about 6-7 years old. 27 years. I have about 2,500 to 3,000 records. What you see here is just stuff I listen to more commonly. Musical, it can range anywhere from Beyonce, her latest album, Nelly Furtado. Early recordings of bluegrass, 1920s. I even have some 78s. Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde. Velvet Underground. It can go into the jazz, big band, big bop era of the late 30s and 40s into the 50s. Irish Rovers, folk music, Kraftwerk, progressive techno, revolutionary techno music of the 70s. It can go into the 60s, psychedelic and R&B and soul and gospel. John Denver, classical operatic Alexandrov, to Indian, Ravi Shankar, into the punk and new wave of the early 70s, to progressive rock of the 70s, to the punk of the late 70s, new wave 80s, 90s. It goes all through, even some hip hop, reggae. You got this beautiful large picture. It can go into a gatefold. You can get posters, stickers. There's a connection too, a personal connection. You don't even have to be a musician. It's that personal connection you have going up to the record and putting the needle and dropping the needle down and cleaning the record that gives you that sort of intimate connection to your favorite artist. Analog holds secret frequencies.
A collector could be anyone. It could be me. It could be you. It could even be your neighbors. Here we meet John, the man behind the owls.
The collection of owls. Intriguing. You'd wonder why a person would even want to collect owls to begin with.
It took me 7 days before I had decided to open an antique store. The antique store's name was The Owl and the Unicorn. I'm the owl. A friend of mine was the unicorn and kept the name, lost him. Opened it with owls from all over the world. I have got owls in every conceivable material and owls at every price. I have paid $1, and I think the most expensive one I ever bought was about $300,000. No one could ever come in and buy all the owls in the store. At one point, I remember over 1,200 owls. The three of those pieces were the Indian art. They were in the store. I've always associated with owls very dignified birds. They have a lot of character. They have a lot of grace. They're wonderfully noble, but I don't even think myself noble anymore. They always look old. I'm very old. I just enjoy being surrounded by them. I really do. I'm quite comfortable with them as residents, as it were. From when I was 10, I have no idea why. I just have always had and am always collecting owls. Very happy with them. And will continue until I'm finished.
If I had to compare the bird to John, how distinguished the bird is, yet mysterious at the same time. And I would have to say that about John because A, I would have never thought he was a collector of owls. And yes, in his own caliber, he is distinguished in that setting. I never thought of owls as anything but a nuisance or a bird that you put on your balcony to keep the other birds from coming and making a mess. In looking at his collection, I was pretty impressed. I was able to see such a difference of species within a picture of an owl. Like, for instance, there's one that's on the wall that I definitely, looking at it up close, it looked like a monkey. There was one that looked so feline, like a lion or a tigress, and others that just simply look like baby birds. And that's where I began to see the beauty in owls.
Almost every man on this planet has seen violence in movies, and most of them enjoy it. But every single one of them would love to paint half their face blue, grab a sword, and shout out loud. Our next two pieces, by Fred Esporlis and Dave Gillett, are truly tapping into their inner Braveheart. Well, sort of.
number of Asian action movies being accessed to North America have definitely increased over the past few years. And for Chris Reynolds, the weapons they use have become more than entertainment. It became a part of his life.
Well, one of the reasons why I collect weapons is I've been a fan of a lot of foreign movies lately, like Japanese, Chinese, Korean action movies, and so they've sort of inspired me to start collecting these weapons and start playing out the roles as action heroes. Right here is all the weapons I've collected in the past month.
Although he's only starting off with his collection, the weapons that he has now are definitely similar to the ones from his action movies.
Well, the characters that I'm really interested in these movies are samurai type or ninjas that have really, they show a lot of skill. People say I'm Asian washed because I hang around Asian people a lot and they say I lost my heritage. They forget that I'm white, but I don't forget I'm white, I just have to look at my skin. I found that like really interesting things about the culture that I'm very open to now. And I don't think it should just be open to Asians. I think everyone should explore those sort of things.
Hey, I'm Andrew Nichols, and this is the Two-Headed Dragon. Yeah, let's get to it. Well, it's a lot of fun. The community around here likes to play this game, but I really like this game as well. It's more based on the individual model rather than squads, so each model is a little bit more important, and it's also based in my favorite type of fantasy genre, which is steampunk, where electricity isn't that far used and there's still a lot of steam technology.
Sure, it's fun to blow the hell out of your opponent's army, but if your models don't look good while doing it, what's the point? You gotta paint these guys up, make them look nice.
So for one model, just pure painting time, it'll usually take 15 minutes. But this guy I really poured a lot of time into. I think 18 hours is a lot of watching the paint dry. So yeah.
It's obvious that Andrew loves collecting War Machine, but after checking out a couple of the prices, I started to wonder, just how much does it cost to start this hobby and get playing?
Well, to get started, it's usually about $50, and then after that you just basically keep building. I don't think I've spent really more than $300 on the models itself. So this was a standard Sunday at the Two-Headed Dragon. It was a lot of fun. I hope to do it again.
Those nerds are really living a life of luxury. Well, anyway, our next two videos deal with collections that any child would love. Toshi Kobayashi shows us some Barbie dolls, the backbone of any young girl's education. And Jet Pike shows us some rocks, which are always fun to throw at people. Take a look.
Carrie Huffman is a university awards officer. Her passion was collecting Barbie dolls. It all began in kindergarten.
I had to stay home from school one day because I was sick, and my dad looked after me that day, and my mom came home from work and she had brought me a present. And the present she brought me was Ballerina Barbie. And I was just obsessed with her because I was taking ballet lessons. And this beautiful doll came with a tiara and beautiful tutu. So that was my sort of first big Barbie memory. I really like Dr. Barbie and Pilot Barbie. These are the, Barbie has a job. Barbie's a modern woman. She's a doctor, but she's also wearing a miniskirt. So there's always this sort of push-pull of, what does Barbie represent? One of the things that got me started collecting again in my adult years was a book called Forever Barbie that was a cultural critique of Barbie, and it was, the thing about it that was really interesting was that Mattel could present Barbie in a specific way, but the way that girls played with Barbie was entirely different. Even though the company may have sort of put a certain spin on a doll, young girls would play with the dolls in their own way. I think it gives girls such a sense of agency in terms of the way that they're playing with the dolls and the possibilities that they can, the sort of life possibilities that they can work out with them, that doesn't really get a lot of discussion.
Gina is 23 years old. She has been collecting rocks since she was a little girl. I asked her how she came about starting her collection.
In school, I was interested in geology, and that evolved into me actually going rock climbing and rock hunting in quarries and stuff. And I started reading up and doing research on the rocks that I found, and I joined a rock club. I really enjoyed learning about how they were formed and what kinds of chemicals they were made of, and just I thought it was so amazing how our earth could produce such beautiful things.
Gina's collection of rock formations is extensive. It includes rocks of various shapes, sizes, and colors, from the dullest to the most brilliant. She also owns a variety of crystals and gemstones. She is very proud of her collection. Gina explains why she loves rocks so much.
What fascinates me the most is it's just so incredible to me how something on the outside can look so ugly and on the inside be so full of treasures, Like even a diamond, a raw diamond, you wouldn't think it would be anything special. It just looks like a piece of crystal. But it's so valuable, and when you cut it up and shape it, it looks so gorgeous. It's just so amazing to me that our planet can produce such amazing specimens, and all these bright colors and shapes and sizes, and it's really quite amazing. Even mechanically, you can get rocks that have all these different formations and look like squares or circles, or it's just totally cool.
Gina's collection grows bigger by the year. Unfortunately, the winter months don't bring her much luck in her hunt for treasure. She looks forward to the springtime. Don't we all?
Unfortunately, we are almost out of time, but before we go, we'd like to show you one more piece. We definitely saved the best and cutest for last. Here's Amber Shiklashy talking about furry teddy bears.
Hi, come on in. We'll go right up to the bear room. And this is my bear room.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic.
This is the bear room. Most of the bears are in here. I have over 500, but the room's not big enough for all of them. This one is Jinx. Jinx is my first bear, and he used to be very fluffy, but he's got squished around his middle because I used to take him with me when I went on my dancing exams. I lived in England, and I knew the man in the pet store. These are cat tags, and he wrote the names of my bears on them. In Canada, I didn't know anyone in a bear store, and so I got someone to make the numbers on these bingo chips or tiddlywink things. I have Steiff bears, Peter Bull bears, and Geddes bears. Meredith, lots of others.
Anne McHugh's collection has been growing for 50 years, and she has cataloged every bear she has by name, number, who gave them to her, and when and where they were received. But who's to carry on the tradition?
My granddaughter is Janine, and her second name is Anne, as my name is Anne, and so Janine is going to get all my bears eventually. And when Janine was born, we figured it would be good for her to start her own collection. This is Janine when she was 6 weeks old with her first bear.
This is the majority of my collection of bears. It's pretty crammed in there because I don't have as much space. I have just over 200, I guess. Definitely not anywhere near my grandma, but with all the Christmas presents and birthday presents I get, I'll definitely be there soon.
Picnic time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today.